Hello and welcome. Today we are here in Boston at Think 2024 with IBM. And I have with me Joshua Kirim. Joshua, we will talk about one of the great announcements of today, which is Concert, IBM Concert. So you're going to, what you will share with us today is what is Concert? What can we use it for? What is the revolution that it is bringing on the market? And to our listeners and people watching us, where they can find it and how they can use it. Okay, so let's start with the very basic question, very simple question. Can you just introduce yourself in a few seconds?
My name is Joshua Kim. I am the program director in product management for IBM Concert. I've been at IBM for about 14 years, working on various large-scale products, including the Watson X launch last year. I moved to Concert earlier in the year to take over product management here. And it's a really cool piece of technology, so I'm really excited to talk about it with you.
Excellent. So you're the father, one of the fathers, and the manager of the team at least that worked on Concert.
From a product perspective. Yeah.
So we are talking to the right person to know everything about it. Can you tell us what IBM Concert's problem? What is the problem it is solving?
Yeah, and IBM Concert started with a single challenge, right? And that challenge was, enterprises have information and data silos. Very specifically, the tooling information they need to develop applications, right? Each department might have a different set of tools. Usually there's 3 to 6 tools used to monitor a single application, right? Okay. And none of these tools talk with each other. Okay. Now,
sorry, when we talk about applications, just to give you to give us a few examples of which application it can be.
Sure, it could be homegrown applications, it could be bought applications. Most departments will have multiple applications that they use. Okay. There might be revenue-generating applications. There might be internal applications. So the definition of application is very broad.
Very broad. It could be websites, can be financial systems, can be anything, marketing, and so on. Okay.
Yeah. So now, compound that with the problem that Rob outlined, and that is that AI is going to end up creating over 1 billion applications over the next 5 years. Okay. Yeah. So if clients are struggling with that problem today, that problem is going to be even more compounded as we move forward in the future. Okay, and every enterprise is struggling right now to apply AI internally. Okay, so we took that problem and we tried to solve it in a very creative way with Concert.
Yes.
Okay? So that's what Concert is trying to address.
Excellent, because so number of applications that companies have to manage is growing exponentially, and today it's very difficult to have a view of all those applications in one single place.
Exactly.
And Concert is solving this issue. So,
correct.
And you said it, you made it on a user-friendly way, meaning you don't need to connect each of your applications to IBM Concert, but tell us how can we use it?
Precisely. And today, the traditional way of trying to solve some of that is to ETL that data from all of these different tools. You dump it in a data lake somewhere, and then you're trying to run BI or AI over it. Okay. But like I said before, as the number of applications grow, that becomes increasingly complex to do.
And costly.
Exactly.
Costly, and you don't even have the real-time data very often.
Precisely. So. And a lot of the clients who engaged on this journey with us early, because we have a very extensive design partner program, some of them were trying to had projections of 3 years to try and put some new system in place. And that's just not going to work at the pace of innovation that enterprises in the new age of AI need to operate at.
Yes,
right?
Definitely. You just finished it, that you already have 100 more applications to integrate, so you never finish it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what Concert does is it's able to connect to all of these different sources, understand and correlate that information, okay? Mm-hmm. And we're able to apply AI to that directly, okay?
Excellent.
So that is the true power of Concert. No ETL, no data lake, okay?
So if I understood well, I download Concert, and I can right away, it's going to connect itself directly to the different applications and give me a view of all those applications in a single screen. and tell me more, even more, that we could discuss later. Yeah.
Correct. So you need to provide the credentials to the source systems, obviously. Okay. But Concert will automatically create ingest pipelines to be able to pull that data and be able to use it, right? So that is very simple.
So that's as simple as this.
It can be done in minutes rather than creating a complicated ETL job.
Excellent. So let's say I've opened my Concert, I'm on my screen, I've connected all my apps. What can I see? What can I do?
Great question. And one of the first things we have is a concept called lenses, okay? And lenses are outcome-driven views, okay? And you can think of lenses, like on a map application where you have a satellite layer, a traffic, view over that same area, okay? And likewise, once we collect all this data or connect it to all these systems, we have various lenses where I can see very specific information, okay? And the first one we're starting with is something called risk, okay? And risk consists of multiple different data points, but it's really to be able to give enterprises what we call a risk posture, okay? So a very high level, what is my risk posture of my business, okay? And you can drill down, obviously, but that is the risk lens.
Okay.
But the true power of Concert is when you start applying multiple lenses together.
Yeah.
For example, risk correlated with cost information, right? Or risk correlated with revenue information. That's going to give you new insights into, prioritizing things like vulnerabilities for the applications that are going to be generating the most revenue. So we're able to apply a contextualized business insight to the raw tooling data that we have now to make better decisions.
Wow. Okay? So not only you can, let me know if I'm right. I have access to this dashboard, basically, that gives me an overview of all my apps in my company. This dashboard gives me also an overview of of different domains that you can lenses that can be related to risk or to revenue or cost or to different aspects. And I can see the overall revenue, overall cost, overall across all the apps. And I can drill down in each of those specific lenses and have access to the more granular level of explaining the level of risk and maybe giving me, pointing me to one of those applications that might be more at risk than the others, and potentially giving me as well some advice, telling me you should reconnect, change, reconfigure, whatever, do to improve the risk for this specific application.
Precisely. And we actually go a step further than that, right? So for example, a lot of the automation and a lot of the insights are done with AI, right? So Concert will tell you what the most high impact CVE is, or the vulnerability is, okay? With today's tools, most tools will rely on something called the CVSS score. It's an open standard that everyone uses. But that doesn't take into consideration your business. That doesn't take into consideration how many of your apps have that exposure, how many your endpoints have that exposure. Now, when you factor in that data, something with a lower CVSS score might have higher impact, right? And that's the kind of insights Concert is able to deduce and actually give you an improved risk score. It's telling you, okay, you have to fix this first because you're more vulnerable here. Okay?
Very interesting.
So we're able to collect, and that's only possible by understanding data from different systems, right? So the insights we can give is much more powerful.
And it does everything by itself. You don't need to do any specific actions.
You have to set it up a little bit, give the data pipelines, but all the dashboarding and all the different alerts are auto-generated.
Yes.
It's all the AI giving you that insights. Okay. The second thing Concert's going to automate is the actual job of some of these security focals, right? Because the security team usually doesn't talk to your development team, right? So, they might find a vulnerability, then they'll open a ticket with your development team, and they have no way of tracking whether that got completed or not. Concert spans those two tools such that when a vulnerability is found, you can actually create an automatic job such that Concert will generate automatically tickets for you. So it writes everything up, tells you how to fix it, and then sends that automatically to the development team without any human intervention.
Excellent. Okay? So it not only identifies the issue, create a ticket to monitor the issue, the resolution of the issue, but also can solve the issue by itself and close the ticket. But you have a tracking of all this. You have a monitoring of all this.
So Concert will know how to fix it. It'll tell you what to do to fix it, we haven't yet taken the step to say, okay, go do that automatically.
Yes.
For now, it will automatically open the tickets and alert the teams that this needs to be fixed, and here's what you have to do. And the reason we haven't taken that extra step yet is because enterprises aren't fully comfortable with AI taking that full action yet. So we still want human intervention there. I think it's for a short period of time,
Yes.
but
as long as.
but the full automation is definitely possible.
Yes. So, so that's amazing. We have this dashboard that gives us an overview of everything, that helps us identify issues, gives us recommendations on how to solve those issues, potentially later automate those resolutions. So it gives you really a view on what your team should do when you're managing a group of apps in your company. What should be your vision? What should be your plan for the year? Really helps you to strategize and tactically implement
Correct.
anything.
And it's really to do two things. Like first, you might say that a lot of other tools have AI. How is this different? And the real difference between Concert and other tools is AI and other tools only work for that tool. Its scope of knowledge is very, 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 very small. With Concert, the breadth is very large because we're connecting to all these tools.
Yes.
And no other tool does that, right?
Yes.
We're applying AI to data from other tools, right? Not specific to a single tool. Second, going back to the pace of application development, right? This kind of automation is going to save you a lot of time, right? Internally, we're using Concert at IBM, and we're already seeing about a 25% cost reduction. And this is still very early on, right? So that pace is really supported by Concert.
Yes. Excellent. And you talked about how AI is embedded in the platform. I understand as well that the interface or the way we can connect and interact with the platform is in plain language.
Correct.
So you ask a question, where are my highest vulnerabilities? And you have this list. The system understands your question and gives you the...
Correct. So there's three ways to interact with Concert. One is via the traditional graphical user interface. I can generate graphs, I have buttons and such. However, the more powerful, and this is where we're going to save clients on specialized skill. Like you don't need to be an SRE that's been trained for 3-5 years to use Concert, right? I could ask complex questions in natural language and I will get a response. Okay? So that's the kind of second step. The third step is APIs, connecting with other tools to get that information. But we think that the chat function powered by watsonx and our Granite models is going to be the way we're going to be moving forward in the future.
Excellent. What are the key use cases that we can use it on currently?
The first use case we're targeting is risk, right? Which includes vulnerabilities, compliance, certification expiry. So it kind of tells you where you are exposed.
Okay.
But in Q3, we plan to quickly follow that up with things like IT operations, right? Being able to get insights about your IT operations. You're going to introduce a cost lens. So I can get cost information across the board, no matter what I'm doing, right? And you'll see many more come into play. But that's our kind of first plan for this year.
Excellent. Yeah. You named it Concert. Why?
That's a great question. Because Concert is really about bringing synergy and almost like a symphony to all of these different tools. Okay, we're not trying to replace these tools. A lot of companies will go in there and tell you, "Hey, I have one tool to rule them all," but the reality is one tool alone is never good enough. Right. Yes. So a Concert is all of these tools working together
in harmony.
Exactly.
It's a harmony.
To give you all of the insights and data that you need. And that's why it's named Concert.
Excellent. Excellent. When can we start using it and where to find it?
So we have our waitlist live now. So you can sign up for the waitlist.
It just started today, huh?
Today.
Yeah.
You'll get sent information. We officially GA on June 18th. Okay. And if you're part of the waitlist, you can start the trial right on June 18th.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. Thanks for sharing all this. That's very exciting. Very new tool, revolutionizing the way we can manage apps in companies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Have a good day. Thank you, Josh.